If you're being extremely keen, you have at least one encounter with God every day. Even one is minimal. If you're very keen. For instance, yesterday I had like maybe three encounters with God, or they two encounters with God that I can specifically remember, but I remember them being there being a lasting. But there's just one thing where like I'm calling one of my friends and we're just having a random conversation and like we're just catching up about life. And so I make, he's like, this is our year because like, like last year was rough, but like we learned a lot. We set a good foundation, and this is what he's saying. So obviously I make a joke and I say, yeah, we can't finish this year without Range Rovers outside. And then obviously I laugh because I'm making a joke. And he goes, don't joke about that. And I was like, having a Range Rover was a bit crazy by the end of the year. And he's like, no, don't joke about that. Anything is possible. And what I realized was how little faith I was having, right, of God, and how little I believed that certain things were possible for me. And remember, it always starts with faith. So like your amount of faith is equivalent to what you can have in life, right? If you don't have any faith that your life will change, you tend to perpetuate patterns and behaviors in your life that make sure that your life doesn't change. If you believe your life's never going to change, then you're going to get comfortable, right? But if you believe your life is going to change, then you're going to do everything you possibly could to change your life, right? And in that small encounter with him, and I finished speaking to him, and I'm just walking around, and I'm like doing like stuff, and I'm like I'm cleaning something, and then I realized I was like, yeah, man, anything is possible. And like if I don't believe that it's possible, then I won't act on it. If I believe that it's possible, anything is possible, then I'll act on it, and it becomes more possible for me. And add that with seeking God, add that with praying, adding that with doing everything that I can, right? It will still be better. It may not be, a Range Rover, right? But it may be, something bigger and greater that God has for me, right? And that work that I'm doing, even though it may not be the Range Rover, may contribute to something so much bigger than a Range Rover could ever, give me. So that's one encounter. The second encounter, I was speaking to my two friends, and I was like, basically, I was doubting something. I was like, oh, like obviously it's a blessing that what's God, which is crazy that I was saying this, but like obviously God's giving me a blessing, but at the same time, like, like I think I might be in a position where like that blessing may take me away from certain things. And they're like, yeah, thank God that it will take you away from those things. Why wouldn't you want to be ahead in life when God's giving you such a great blessing? And like I just clocked in my head, I was like, it's crazy that like, yeah, like God's always speaking and trying to almost prune your faith through other people or through different encounters. And like if you realize it and think about it, you actually be like, by the way,